Okay, I am going live now. Um, let's see if this works again. I do have my external mic in here. If you guys can't hear me, I was actually taking a few minutes to eat. Hey, yeah, your comment popped up just as this went live. I'm actually watching a BTS video right now. I think there you go. There you go. That's what that's what I'm watching right now. And there's my comment. Can you hear me okay, or do I need to plug in the mic? Well, I'm at 18 minutes and 15 seconds, but out of 27 minutes and 40 seconds. So if I was to start it now and play it like to the end, you hang on, I'm like, where's the end? Under my ass. Can you hear me now? Testing. 1, 2, testing. Okay. Is this better? Yeah, the mic on my phone is like complete crap. I had to get a shower, and I'll actually, if I can get my phone to pick up what's on my iPad, I'll show you why I had to get a shower, or I would have been live like as soon as the video that went up at 5 quit playing. I was planning on going live, but then I had a girl message me on Facebook and ask me to do something, so I had to go and do something else, take pictures, got disgusting, and had to get a shower. So, and then right before I went in the shower, T-Spill had posted a video, and this girl in the video was eating ramen. I'll prop you up there. So I haven't eaten ramen in like a while, so I went and I made ramen. I've never done like a mukbang or mukbang. I've only watched a couple of my, like the YouTubers that I watched. There's only like 2 or 3 that I've watched ever that have done a mukbang. It's a noodle you'll find in like Japan. They have noodles that are like super long and they're kind of kinky curly, and then they make them like super, like the process of making ramen seems to be really quick, and then they drop them in like a soup kind of base that is has like vegetables in it, usually some sort of stock, and then sometimes there's meat in it, and then you know, that kind of stuff. And what they usually do is you eat the noodles with the broth. Michael just commented on the other live that was defunct. So let me see if I can see it. My iPad still shows, it says YouTube is recording at the top. Hello phone, will you like pick that up? No? Fine, kiss my foot. It still says that YouTube is recording on my iPad. So my iPad thinks I'm still on a live stream on there. Yeah, it comes with like a little flavor packet, and they're like, it's a like rectangle of like little squiggly noodles. I'll take one of those and I'll either like pry it in half, or I'll break it the other way. I'm trying to get to my photos here. This eye has been watering. What was it? Last night in the live stream it started watering real bad, and then I was doing that makeup look today on this eye, and the whole time I was working on this eye was like tearing up and watering. Okay. Hopefully these will I stick it in the microwave for 3 minutes in water. I put a little bit of the flavoring in when I put it in the microwave, and then I nuke it for like 3 minutes. And then I personally dump the extra water out, and then I add the rest of the flavor packet and then butter. But I had to like take pictures of these guys because there's a girl on Facebook that wants to buy one. And this one here, I had it in my hand. Sorry, Michael. Oh, I accidentally turned it off. Hang on. Darn button. No, don't talk to me. No, shut up. Go back to my photos. Okay. So, here's one of the rats. Let me see if I can... No, the lights on these is like... It's making it like impossible. But this one here was in my hand. No, the other one... My iPad and YouTube don't get along, so... the other one only lasted for like a minute and 18 seconds before it crapped out. And that just looks like I'm just trying to show you a picture of my ass. I'm not. There you go. Now you can see it. He climbed out of my hand and then went up my back. And then I was like, Dad, why does my back feel wet? He's like, oh, don't worry about it. I'm like, Dad, why? He's like, don't worry about it right now. He peed up my back. And then this one peed all over the front of my shirt. That one there didn't want to go back in the cage. Like, no. But the girl wanted pictures of them, like better pictures. This one's really pretty. It's like a strawberry blonde color on its head. It's white behind its shoulders all the way down to its, tail. And then down the very center of its back, it's that strawberry blonde coloring again. Oh, I recorded a video last night, and then this morning when I woke up at 4:30, you'll have to wait for me to publish it on YouTube. You're gonna laugh. But this is why I wasn't on right after the video that went up at 5, was because of these guys, taking pictures of all of these guys. That's our set tub. It was just so much easier to set them in there after we photographed them, so they didn't like run off or try and go back in the cage. So there's all of them. Or at least that's all of them that color. I had to pull... Well, if you send me a message on Facebook, then I can add you. I think I didn't... Maybe I did. I keep getting all these, like... And don't get me wrong, there is nothing wrong with people from what I'm about to talk about. I have dated a couple. But they're people that I knew in person. But I get propositioned by Middle Eastern men every freaking, hi Connor, day on Facebook. Hi buddy. Your meow broke still? Come in. Oh, it's a big stretch. Oh, you gonna go fold my laundry for me? Hey, I can't meet you. Hello? Yes, I have food on the bed. Yes, there's food on the bed. So, and I get people from Africa, like the parts of Africa that are like scary, that try and solicit me, or they'll send me messages like, oh, you so beautiful, I come to your country, you marry me, you be my wife. And I'm like, dude, I don't even know you. And I get, like I said, a lot of Middle Eastern men that proposition me. Most of them are my father's age, it looks like, and it's scary. Now, I did date a guy. He was born in Iraq. He lived there until he was 10. And then, of course, Desert Storm happened. And so his family moved here to the United States. Well, first they fled to Turkey, but, then they moved here. So technically, he is an Iraqi. And he speaks Arabic. No problems with that. I know his real name, but because of where he was born, he tells people to call him Chris. And I think that's wrong because he's got a beautiful name, but because of how people treat him, even though he's been here for 28 years, because he's my age, he's just a couple months older than I am, it's awful. Whoops. Yeah, actually, the way younger ones, Nicola, I get on Instagram and Twitter. I don't get them as much on Facebook. And I deleted Snapchat because of them. I was having 14-year-olds sending me dick pics. And I'm like, I would get a chat message and I would open the chat message and they would say hi and I'd say hi back. And the next thing I would get was a picture of a penis. And I'm like, what the? And I'm like, how old are you? Question mark. And then I would get the replies I would get back were ages like 14 to like 17, 18. And I'm like, I'm old enough to be your mother. And they're like, you don't look that old. I'm like, I'm old. Trust me. I'm old enough to be your mother. My youngest daughter was born in 2003. They're like, I was born in like 2005. I'm like, oh my God. Oh, just go away. Block. I'm like, oh my God. Sometimes I would, like, if they were 18, I'd be like, why would you randomly send somebody a picture of, I don't even have one in here. But I call them chapsticks because that's what it looks like. It looks like a tube of chapstick. Or the other analogy that I use is a roll of pennies. Why? What is really great? When you get them and they send a picture and it's about like this. And you're like, wait, what's that? I'm sorry, what is that a picture of? And they're like, what do you mean? Have you never seen one before? I'm like, yeah, that's usually the size of a head. And they're like, you're a bitch. I'm like, no, I'm just being honest. I'm like, does now my eyes watered even more. And you say a pin? Oh God. No. Usually I use the term chapstick or a tube of chapstick or a roll of pennies. If I can imagine closing my fist around it, and I've got very small hands, I wear my ring finger is a 4.5. My largest finger is this one, and it's a 6.5. This one wears a 6. Just to give you an idea of how small my fingers are. My pinky finger on one hand is a 1.5. The other one is a size 2. So my fingers are tiny. If I can imagine closing my hand around it and that's all that there is, base to tip, I'm sorry, but that would be a huge nope. Nope. Number one, I don't want to see it. 2, I didn't ask for the picture. 3, I absolutely cannot stand looking at those things. I'm sorry, they are not beautiful. I think they're disgusting looking. I don't mind using them, but I think they're disgusting looking. Just like I don't think what we have is attractive. I think they're all disgusting looking. Top, bottom, front, back, whatever, in, out, they're all disgusting. They all are disgusting looking. I don't find anything about them just attractive at all. Period. End of discussion. And this will bring me, I guess I need to bring this up. I don't know if you guys saw my tweet the other day, and I actually had to block 3 people today. Oh God, don't even get me started on huevos. Yep, no, we won't discuss huevos. I have seen one attractive one. I was engaged to it and what was attached for off and on a long time. If it wasn't for his mother, we would probably be married. Um, and the only difference about it versus the previous ones, like from my husband's or whatever, yes, I was engaged to. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful piece of equipment. Except for the equipment had a raincoat, and I had never been around equipment with a raincoat ever. Like, other than, like my dad, but I was little and not like I remember that stuff. So, I had never seen one that had its original built-in raincoat that hadn't been removed. Do you know what I mean, Nicola? See, and here it's like I know my dad's parents didn't have the money. Yes, the foreskin. My dad's parents didn't have the money to have his removed. So that's why he still has his. That and his grandmother was Jewish, but had they been around my dad, it would have been removed because they're Jewish. But I know when my girls were born at the local hospital, there were other mothers giving birth at about the same time. And I know I was in the nursery one day because I was working with a lactation consultant. So I had a very difficult time breastfeeding due to the shapes of things. And this guy had one, and I had never seen one with one. So that was something unusual for me, but it was a very, very nice shaped piece of equipment. It worked very well multiple times a day. Now, granted, I was 21, but we dated off and on for a while, and I mean a while. We were engaged for several years, and we went through a lot of stuff, and it all started with one conversation. I was in cosmetology school, so I met him when I was 17, and I was sitting outside on the sidewalk in the front of the school eating lunch because I always got my lunch in a to go thing, and I would sit out front and eat, and then go back in and work on the floor with whatever clients that I had. And he pulled up on his motorcycle and got off, and the first thing that I noticed was his rear, which was beautiful as well. First guy I'd ever seen with one, ever, because everybody that I had ever seen, like even like in jeans and whatever, they're literally shoulders to knees. Like it's just straight, completely straight, no bump in the middle, no nothing. It's just literally a board in the back. They're just no curves. And a girl appreciates a little bit of derriere. Oh yeah, every guy I've ever been with has cheated on me. Every man, every man that I have ever been with in my entire life, every relationship, even the girl that I dated all through high school, everybody I've ever been in a relationship with has cheated on me. But that's for another story. But he got off his motorcycle and he had oh my God, his ass made his jeans look. um, and then he got off and he looked up at me, but he had like a full face helmet, right? I told you we're like sisters. He had a full face helmet on, so I couldn't see his face or anything. And the only thing I said to him was, what a beautiful bike. Because, you know, I grew up around motorcycles. My dad's a biker. I'm a biker. I've been riding motorcycles since I was 8. You know, so I've been around motorcycles my entire life. I love them. And he took off his helmet and he said thanks. And as soon as the helmet came off, there's actually an actor that looks he looks very similar to this actor. Oh, well, that's what the lights are for. Just flip them off. And sometimes it's not really what's the it's not what the packaging looks like. It's what's inside. So, did you guys ever, and I know you're overseas, but have you ever seen this show called Army Wives? It was on, well, you guys aren't young, and neither am I. It's been on, it was on over 10, 15 years ago, and it ran for a good while. Did you guys ever see the TV show Army Wives? Because there's an actor in that show that when I first saw that show and I saw the actor in it, I could have swore it was my ex. I mean, I didn't just do a double take. I did a whole triple take and took a picture of it with my old Nokia flip phone. Yeah, usually that happens when they get comfortable, which sucks. But anyways, look up the show Army Wives. It's the young guy in the show Army Wives that was married to the blonde, and don't ask me his name, but my ex looks almost identical to him. And it was really interesting because he has really unique looking blue eyes. One of his eyes is blue, but the other one, like 3/4 of one iris, is brown. And it was so unique and so pretty. But he was intelligent, well spoken, well read. We liked a lot of the same things. He was very protective. And then we hit like a bumpy patch due to something that happened between me and his mom. And this happened like years after, you know, we'd been together for a while. And we broke up for a couple of months. And a girl that had been like sniffing around him ended up pregnant. We'll come to find out the baby wasn't his, but we had already gotten back together. And she was like calling him and 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 telling him that it was his baby. And after the baby was born and paternity tests were done, we found out that it wasn't his, but the girl ended up breaking us up. Oh, hell no. Ain't nobody gonna raise their hands to me. A guy hits me, that's it, I'm done. You hit me once and that's it. Literally once. And I've had guys hit me. If a guy raises his hands to me, he better be prepared for a fight. I don't care how broken my body is. You piss me off enough, I will go completely apeshit on somebody. I cannot tolerate a man that hits a woman or a woman that hits a man. I think it goes both ways. I think anybody that thinks it's okay to put their hands on another person in a violent manner, they need to be clocked. Okay, so since you're here, I think Ada might have gone to bed because it's late. Because she's an hour after you, and when I got on, it was about midnight for you. I've had him do that too. I'll have to do a whole video on my ex-husband. I actually found my court file the other day. I dated a guy. He was the first, like, boy I met in 6th grade. We dated on and off through middle school, in high school, and then it came time for, like, prom, because he was a year ahead of me in school. And my mom made me break up with him because he was white. He's what people here call white trash, which is people that live in trailers and have cars that are up on blocks with no wheels and don't run, and dirt yards, and like the kids are usually like dirty and they have bugs, and their house is usually run down and that kind of stuff. So when I say white trash, that is what I'm referring to. Not saying that I really don't. I hate stereotyping people, but I hate stereotypes, period. Oh, Ada, you're here. It only shows Nicole in the thing. But it's basically somebody that lives in a rundown dwelling. The kids that live in the house are always dirty. Their clothes are always dirty. They never have any food. Sometimes the parents are drunks or drug addicts or whatever. Oh, I haven't seen the new one yet. I did watch all of the Netflix series, and I haven't seen Bird Box. I think it's Bird Box. You're fine. I know it's late there. But he was. My mom also used the term from the wrong side of the tracks. They've got a new one out. They've got a new episode that just came out Friday. I think it came out Friday. You know what? Fuck that. Sorry. Again, language. I'm in my room and I can just, turn the TV on. Sorry for the leg shot. And we can just do this. We'll wait for this to load, and then I'll flip the camera around and pick up the iPhone. So, have you guys seen Bird Box? I have it on my list. I think I have it on my list to watch. And I love Sandra Bullock, but I haven't seen it. I have seen like the ending explained kind of thing. Film clips in City, something like that. I watched their like breakdown of the ending of the movie and that kind of stuff. And speaking of Bird Box, okay. I didn't. No, I wasn't really interested in it. So it's called Bandersnatch, and when I saw that, I was like, wait a minute, is this like an Alice in Wonderland thing? Let's see if I can get it to play. Ada, that's evil.
Adventure game based on the book. Jerome's thing is with the genius. See that bloke who like cuckoo and cuts wife's head off? When it's concept piece, a bit of madness is what you need.
Oh, love the 80s music. Relax.
It lets you see the bigger picture. You're worrying me. You're stepping out of it.
It is going to take you. You're not in control.
I know, right? I love that song. Okay, so that was the trailer for the new Black Mirror episode. So that was I figured now I just watched you. Be quiet. Go back. Thank you. So that way we all got to see the trailer. Because I have been avoiding watching the trailer because I didn't want to spoil anything. But yeah, I wasn't really into Black Mirror until my friend Christian had told me, he's like, you really got to see this. This stuff will like trip out your mind. And I was like, no, it won't. I mean, I'm one of those kinds of people, when I watch a movie, my brain's already going through the scenarios of, okay, it could go this way, or this way, and I can guarantee you it's most likely going to go this way. And those are just kind of like options that they want you to think it's going to go that way, but this is how it's going to go. But I'm also the kind of person that likes to read the last page of a book first. Oh God, it is so freaking trippy. It really makes you like think. All the Black Mirror stuff that I've seen, it really, I mean, and most of them are British. Most of them are based in the UK, or they have like UK based actors and actresses in them. And I hate American comedy. I don't like it. I am an much ado about nothing kind of comedy person. Okay, what did I miss? Ada said something about a cheater, and I can't do that, or you can't do that. Okay, what did I miss? Who, me? Not David Bowie. I love David Bowie. I love his music. I think I have all of his music on either tape or CD. All of his music. I grew up with David Bowie music. Like, hands down, love his music. Oh, yeah, I am. I am. But I'm also the kind of person that if I know somebody's gone to see the movies, or gone to the movies and seen a movie that I want to see, I'm like, hey, tell me about the movie. And they're like, no, go see it in the theater. I'm like, no, tell me about the movie. And then I go and I'm like, I watch it, and then I come out and I'm like, that's not how it went. So, it's, I love, and it usually irritates people when I ask, about the ending or what happens in the movie, because we all watch things differently. We all view things differently. Yes, you can talk about this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, and the time that they had. Oh, excuse me. My root beer just came out. This is the only beer. This is the only beer you will ever catch me drinking. Root beer. I don't drink alcohol. And the only alcohol that we had on the property that was mine, Dad just drank the last of it today. Oh, but see, Star Wars is one of those movies that you can watch like 15 times and see something new every time. It's like Star Trek for me. I grew up on The Next Generation. And then, of course, we went from that to Deep Space Nine. So every time somebody sneezes the multiples, I'm like, you're pregnant. And they're like, oh, wait, sorry, you're not Bajoran. And then they look at you like, are you like nuts? No, sorry, just a Trekkie. And then went from Deep Space Nine to Voyager. And actually, a couple of years ago, I went and watched all of them from start to finish, beginning to end. Oh, and the last Jedi? Yeah. Well, no, but yeah. You'd have to see the movie. I mean, he kind of does, but he kind of doesn't. He does like a Yoda thing. So, I don't know. Hello to whoever who is lurking in the chat. There, it says that there's 4 people here, but only 2 of you girls are talking, so. Yeah. Again, it's one of those things, you know, people see oh, hey Michael. I saw your message, but I had just started the live. Well, I should say I should just restarted the live stream. Hey, where are you going? Nunya? I don't think I heard of that place. Yeah, it was like a minute and like 1 minute and 18 seconds long, and then it came up on the screen and it was doing this number and it said trying to reconnect or no internet, click to reconnect, and I like click, and it spins, and then it goes, and you click it again and it spins, and then it goes, and you click it again and it spins and spins and spins, and you like keep clicking it, and YouTube goes, and you're like, okay, fine. I'll finish making the ramen, and then I will, even though my phone was uploading stuff, I have videos on my phone that I need to get uploaded into Dropbox. I've got 13 left to upload. And, yeah. So, when I woke up I had 18 video clips on my phone when I went to sleep last night. My dad just walked by. When I woke up this morning, I still had 6 on my device that still had to be uploaded. Well, let me explain why. Because my phone takes so long to upload stuff to Dropbox, and most videos are a minimum of 4 gigs. Yay. Yeah, Dad's off until like Wednesday or something like that. So, it doesn't really make a difference. I don't drink, and yay, New Year. Okay, it's just another day for me. It's like Christmas. I was gonna do an updo, a half updo look and an eye makeup look for a live stream, but that was what my plan was. But I decided not to do that tonight because I had to go get rat piss off the center of my back. Hey, I've been on live stream longer than 3 hours. Just ask Michael. We were on a live stream on Instagram so long one time. Instagram actually ended the live stream. Well, midnight here is like 6 a.m. for Nicola and 7 a.m. for Ada, so it's what, 1:30 a.m. there, Ada? Let me see if I can, yeah, it's 7:30, so it should be no, it's 2:30 in the morning for you, right? Yeah. Aren't I doing that now? Yeah, Nicola, you're 6 hours ahead of me. Or no, you're 5. She's 6. Brain dead. It's the beer, I'm telling you. It's the beer. Gone straight to my brain. But what you see me wearing is minus the, the shorts will end up on the chair over there, and I'm going to go to sleep in my tank top. It has to be. Oh, the root kind. The beer of root of beer. This kind of beer. See? Best kind of beer there is. Unless you're offering like sassafras. I didn't feel like drinking tea because I know I'll be going to bed here in a couple of hours, so there's no point in consuming caffeine right now, and I didn't feel like making a thing of green tea that's decaf, so I got I was like, what is all that funny numbers on my... It's the time. It's just backwards on my screen. Yeah. Now see, did you know that tea has 2 times the amount of caffeine that coffee does? That's one reason why I try not to drink tea late at night. Now I can, if I drink my Irish breakfast mixed with green tea. Oh, excuse me. Try not to burp in the microphone. But you can probably still hear it rumbling on my chest. The if I make sure and I use 1 tea bag of one flavor and 1 tea bag of the other, and I like make a four cups of it out of 2 tea bags, because usually I can get 2 cups of tea out of one bag, which some people think is gross or weak or whatever. I don't care. I'll drink it. I can drink all 4 cups of that tea and go straight to bed. But it has to be either like Earl Grey mixed with the green tea, or the Irish breakfast mixed with it, or the Lady Earl Grey mixed with the Irish or the green tea. And I don't know what it is about those combos. Now, if I can drink it like during the morning and it, wakes me up. I love Earl Grey because it's got bergamot in it, and bergamot oil is in the orange family. So I love orange oils, whether it's, bergamot is a sweet orange oil, whereas neroli is like a bitter orange oil. Right? See, and I've never had a Red Bull, so I don't know how those are. But, I could probably go through an entire gallon of tea in one day and sleep fine. Now, my sugar levels might be a little high because I drink cream and sugar in my tea. Yeah, I do cream and sugar in tea. Or if we're at a half and half, I do regular milk. See, and I use flavored creamer with coffee, so that tastes really gross when you're putting it in tea. Oof. When you're out of milk and you don't have half and half and you put flavored creamer in your tea, oh, that's like the worst. Do you put lemon in it, or you just drink it with straight? Well, the flavor that I put in my coffee is hazelnut, so can you imagine that on Earl Grey? Yeah. I mean, I've had a percolator, but we don't use that for tea. I'll get a 4-cup pitcher, not pitcher, but the measuring cups, and I'll put 2 tea bags in it, and I fill it all the way up to the top with tea, and I stick it in the microwave for, was it 3 minutes? It's on like a slow roll, like for a rolling boil, but the slow roll part, that's how I make my tea. I mean, I've tried it on the stove before, but it takes too much long, and then you've got a pot to clean and that kind of thing. I have a teapot, but it came from China, and it's very fragile, and it's 40 years old, and I wouldn't use it now even if I could. It's the kind where you put your tea in it and then you pour hot water in on it and let it steep in the actual teapot. See, we don't have stuff like that here. Okay, let me see if I can take you out to the kitchen. That's what I was just eating. Here. Don't kick it. What are you kicking it for? Don't kick it. It's just convenient. Okay, it's gonna be dark. It's really dark in this house. You can't even see me at all right now. Bye-bye. See, we have one of these things, and again, you can't see it. It's a coffee maker, and it holds like 12 cups of coffee at one time. And then we'll make coffee with it and then drink it until it's like empty. Which when Dad and I drink coffee, it usually is like a day and a half, 2 days for us to drink all that coffee. Oh, I got hung up on something. Hang on, I gotta get the light turned on out here. Okay. Okay, I'm on the porch with this is all my stuff. Like, when I got divorced, my dad went to the house that I was renting with my ex-husband, and they had packed everything in boxes for me and literally just kind of threw it out in the yard, and my dad had to pick it up and bring it here. So this is a disaster on the back porch. Okay, so I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, but here is my teapot. And it's really old. Let me try and hold the lid down. It rattles, like the whole inside of it is broken. And it was broken when I got it back. See? Like, I babied this teapot, but this came from China. And then I have the matching glasses that go with it. So, but again, I wouldn't use it, not only because the rim of it's broken, but I literally got this when I was like 4 years old. And so I've had it for 34 years. So it is what it is. But all this junk out here, this is the rest of my life. All of this, like, I've got stuffed animals out here. I've got books. Like, there's books in those. There's books and papers in there. I've got like an old sewing machine is there. I've got a $1,500 printer there that is now gone to pot because it sits out here, and because our dryer vent is there. We've been divorced since 2012. I haven't done a video on that either, but yeah, this is all my stuff. It came, besides what's in my bedroom, this is the rest of my life. Like, I was living in a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, and, you know, this is everything that I had. This is everything that I got back, besides, like, my, I did have a couch that we ended up giving to somebody that needed a couch more than me. I didn't even know that was out here. But, yeah, such is life when every bit of everything that you own is out here on the back porch in the weather going to pot. Like, even stuff like this, it's a collector's item and it's broken. But it is what it is. I am now, but the things that I had to deal with and the things that I'm still going through because of his allegations against me and the stuff that he did cost me to lose my children. So, he better never come anywhere near me again. I'll have to, I have to do a whole video on that anyways, but flip the camera back around so you're not just staring at my feet. Bob. Hang on. Bob, what are you doing? Bob. No, that's a bub, not a bob. 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 Worse than that, actually. You're like, Mom, there's a wire attached to you. Run, Bob, run! Now, see, some of my stuff is out here, too. Like, I've got sewing things here. I guess I need to... This is like a box of sewing stuff. And we have a box of music CDs. And we have a box of herbs. And there's more herbs over there. You just can't see it. Over there are more boxes of herbs. And there's one of these, oh, the one with the oils is over here. Let's see, got some clary sage, fresh peach, petitgreen, another peach, hyacinth. Got some oh, there's bergamot right there. So, yeah, these are all my essential oils. Stay. That would suck to lose all these onto the floor. I'm trying to level it out. Oh, you see my old school Spice Girls stickers? Like old school. But yeah, these are all various things of like essential oils. Lots of essential oils. There's actually orange blossom right there. I love my orange fragrances. Anything citrus for the most part. What do you want? You pronounce what, how it's spelled? What did I miss? Herbs Hindi? Or herbs hi? Oibs. Some people pronounce them herbs. Some people pronounce them herbs. ERBS versus HERBS. See, I would love to. See, these are like old Spice Girl stickers. I've had these containers a long time. But it's my puppy. Hi, buddy. Why does my nose smell? Oh, it crashed into my nose. It's not a bunking point. Hi. You being a good boy? Hmm? Mama loves you. Do you guys say your H for herbs? You know, when I was, yes, sir. When I was younger, my favorite Spice Girl wasn't Posh Spice. I actually thought Posh Spice was like oh, my shirt is disgusting. I just looked and I got fuzz all over it. But my favorite Spice Girl was actually Sporty Spice. Okay, let me take my mic off for a minute. You see my shirt? See all the stuff on my shirt? I think ginger is beautiful. All right, let me dust off my shirt. What are you looking at me like that for, huh? Could be cat hair I was knocking off. Beat on you. all over my bed, Connor. Well, I just kind of migrated it down my shirt. I doubt Posh would have gone back anyways. She thinks her shit don't stink. Well, she thought her shit didn't stink back then too, so. The David Matthews Band. I actually wouldn't mind seeing them. Right? That's yeah. Yep, that sounds completely accurate. Yep, she farts pixie dust and it smells like rainbows, right? She That's funny. That is so funny. You know, she kind of acted like that when the band was still together, like she was too good for it. And it still shows that there's like 4 people in the live stream. Went down to 3, but like only you 2 are talking. Okay, Ada, you asked for my address while I was outside. If you look at the very bottom of my description box, my address is right there. When like James Charles went off and was like freaking out because people were like, people are showing up to my house. Stop driving down my road, honking the horn, screaming, sister. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all you have to do is Google me and you can find my address. Like, duh. And I had a P.O. box, but it was for my business. And I wasn't able to afford it like 2 years ago. I think this coming January will be 2 years since I've had a P.O. box. And since I live here and I get mail here, number one, why would I spend the extra money to rent something, one, I don't have money for, but 2, that would only get mail infrequently. And the other thing is I would have to drive from my house in town, at least once a week to check mail. And I didn't see the point in that. So it's like, my parents bought this house when I was 16. Yes, exactly. And there is a firearm right by the front door. And if somebody comes to my house that is uninvited, they will potentially be fired at. I have no qualms with walking out my front door with my rifle. And I've made, I wouldn't shoot to kill, I would shoot to maim. And I would have to be in fear for my life. I've had to do this a few times. I've had some really large vehicles pull in the yard with men in them. And with me being as the build that I am with a small frame, they think, oh, well, it's just the little woman home all by herself. We can do what we want, take advantage of shit. And then they realize I've got a .22 rifle by my leg, because I walked out the front door with it. Well, I've been through training. I used to work at the sheriff's department. Yeah. No, same one. It's a Kanger Tech. I just filled the tank earlier today. I only fill my tank like once a day. So, I had it up on the headboard. Now, is it Sweden or Switzerland that has the chocolate called Toblerone? Because when I was a kid growing up, my dad loves Toblerone, but I got into his chocolate one year, and I couldn't sit down for a few days because I literally got my ass beat. Oh yeah, I always hold it with the flat part at the heel of my hand. I don't know where Toblerones are made, but all I know is that when my dad was in the military and he was overseas, my grandmother mailed him chocolate. She bought a bunch of chocolate and sent a care package to him on his ship. And when he got it, he said it was like all like melted and stuff. But he said he like unpeeled the wrappers and was like licking the paper and stuff that the chocolate came on because it's Toblerone. You don't waste it. Tablet? No, what's that? I don't like dark chocolate either. I'm actually my preference for chocolate is white chocolate. I will eat milk chocolate. I don't have a problem with it, but from what I understand, our chocolate here is so different than chocolate over there. And if you think about it, the what was it? The monks? I want to say it's either I want to say Switzerland, but it could be Sweden. Most likely it's Switzerland because if you think about it, it's Swiss chocolate. But the monks were the ones that started like producing chocolate and like giving it out to like nobility and stuff back in the olden days. And so your chocolate is like it's been through so much and it's more refined. Well, actually, the majority of the chocolate industry here is owned by Hershey's. Hershey's or Nestle. But I don't know. I'm kind of weird because like my dad likes dark chocolate and he likes coconut and I can't I'll eat coconut like raw from the coconut, but I can't do Get off that wall. Sorry for yelling in your ear. I just had a cat going on the wall. That was my mom yell, by the way. Fucking cats. I'm serious. Every night when I come in here to go to bed, Jack gets on right on the other side of this wall, and he's like, and I'm like, dude, could you like not destroy the wallpaper every night as I'm trying to go to bed? And it's like he claws the shit out of the wall, and then he comes and jumps on the bed. And he's like, I'm like, dude, really? But no, I don't know. I guess I'm weird about chocolate, but I've also seen. Have you guys ever seen the movie Chocolat? The one with Johnny Depp and who was that French actress? Okay, in that movie, she makes like chocolate with like cocoa or not cocoa, but chili powder. Yes, Juliette Binoche. Yes. She's a really good actress, and she's beautiful. But when she was making like chocolate in the movie, it really gets you thinking, oh, how is chocolate going to taste with chili powder in it? Because if you think about it, chili powder has a kick to it, but it's also kind of like a smoky flavor. And you're like, okay, you have the bitter to sweet flavoring of a chocolate. It's rich, it's smooth, and then you have something that is smoky and spicy all at the same time. I can only imagine what that would do to your mouth. You know, just just thinking about it's making me want to salivate. I love chocolate. I love. I could eat my body weight in white chocolate. And when I was a kid, we would like get the baker's chocolate, the big bricks of baker's chocolate. My mom would like put it in the pantry or the fridge to use it to bake, and she'd go to get it and it would be gone because I would wake up in the middle of the night and sneak out and like break pieces off of it and eat it and go back to bed. I'm so bad around chocolate. I'm sorry, but I cannot like help myself. Hey, there is no such thing as a we anything of chocolate. But that's another thing is see, I make a lot of like foods that are like simple, but they're most of the base recipes are either Scottish or English. Like what do the Americans call them? Potato pastries or something like that. And basically, it looks like it's a half moon shape, and it's got ground meat, cheese, potato, all like when you put it at like a scoop of it in the middle, and then you fold the dough over it, and then you like press your thumb on the outside, and I think they're called potato pasties. But of course here in America they call them like pastries. But it's like a whole meal in one. It's almost like having mashed potatoes and gravy and vegetable, like your vegetables and your meat, like all in. Oh yeah. But I've eaten some very strange foods, but I'm also a very picky eater. Like I don't do onions due to the texture. I can't do mushrooms due to the texture. Plus, I don't care for the flavor. I can't do the flavor for like bell peppers. Cheese and onion. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, if the onions are cooked, that's fine. I just don't like when you bite into an onion and it's like, there's something about it that just creeps me out. It's also like, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but this is how I've always pronounced it, kidgery. And I know that's like a breakfast thing. Um, no, but you crunch on the texture of onion. You're like, it's same thing with celery. That crisp. That's why I can't eat romaine lettuce because of the hard spines on them. It like really creeps me out. Yes, the kidgery. It's made with eggs and usually, whatever meat was left over from like the last night's dinner, and it's got all kinds of stuff in it. But and I grew up on things like challah and Irish soda bread and that kind of stuff. But, you also have to understand my mom's mom was Irish and Scottish with Irish, Scottish, and French with a little bit of Native American in there. So she was a little like I think my grandmother was 5'2" with red hair and green eyes, but just a little slip of a thing. Had 6 kids. I don't know how she did it. She was a nurse. And why am I cold? Seriously, it's like 90 degrees outside. Let me cheat and grab a blanket. I've had this blanket since I got this blanket on my 15th birthday. Here's the blanket. I must have just washed it. It smells fresh. It's been stuck in that chair behind all those pillows. But it's like all of a sudden I just got chilly. Man, what you doing? Aw, are you being cute? Are you being cute? I can't pet you. I just covered up my feet. Hi. Aw. Your meow broken? Yeah. Your meow's broken. I think it got to like 8 degrees Fahrenheit today. And if I remember my math correctly, Fahrenheit to Celsius is like 30 degrees different. So I think that's correct because our freezing temperature is 32 degrees and yours is 0. So I think there's a 32-degree difference. So yeah, it's hot here. It was very warm today. Let me see if I can pull up the Weather Channel app. I gotta find where I stuck it on my iPad. There we are. Oh no, go back. I skipped a page. And I did bring the list in, Nicole. I added a couple things to it too. Okay, so right now outside it's 69 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's supposed to get down to 64. Tomorrow the high is 82 degrees. So we'll have 80-degree weather. Let's see, when does it get cold again? Okay, so we don't drop below 80 degrees until next Friday. All right, can you see where it says 82? And then 82, 81, 80, and then it goes down to 60, 65. And then 68, and then 72 and 73. Right? This is Florida winter. Are you playing music? Hey. I got my little music player plugged in over here charging. It is, it's playing music. Hey, that's a good song. I kept hearing something and I'm like, what the hell am I hearing? And it was my little music thing here is like playing itself. Okay, let me Google this because I want to make sure. No, I wasn't. I had it. Look, I had it plugged in. It's plugged in, but it's like playing on its own. So, might as well put the earbud in. I mean, if the music's playing. Oh, good. I love it when Google like autofills stuff for you. Okay, so 80 degrees in Celsius is 26.6 degrees for you guys. So if it's, we'll just say 80 degrees tomorrow, it'll be like 26 degrees Celsius for you guys. And I'll be at 80 degrees. And I know, what is it, 30 or 35 degrees Celsius, and everybody in UK is like bitching because it's hot. I'm like, oh my God, you ought to try 100-degree weather. Let me see. No, stop selecting stuff I'm not touching. Okay, so we get up here where I live, we get up to like 112, 115 degrees during the summer. Well, it's usually August and September when we're that hot. Okay, so 100 degrees here is 37.778 degrees Celsius for you guys. So, and where I live, you're lucky, like in the summer, if at night it's like 80 degrees. And then you guys over there are like dying when it's like 25, 30 degrees. Yeah, it gets hot here. Welcome to winter in Florida. I'm wearing a tank top and shorts. And you guys are freezing your tushes off. I've only seen snow. Let's see. I saw snow in 1986 here in Florida. It was actually cold enough to snow, but it wasn't cold enough to stick. I saw snow in 1987 when we went to Washington, D.C., and there was actually, snow. It was Thanksgiving time when we went, and I actually saw, that was like the first real time I'd ever seen snow. And that's it. That's the extent of my snow. See, and I don't know how well I do in like cold temperatures because, I just got cold all of a sudden, and it's funny with it being the temperature it is outside. And granted, I do have my ceiling fan on high, but even in the wintertime, I have that on high. Like when it's actually cold outside. When it was in the 30s the other day, my ceiling fan was still on high. And then I've got a fan here that blows on my face while I sleep, so that's usually on high too. And I only have one blanket on my bed, but I have 2 sheets. Probably would, because anything below 75 degrees here, I'd be freezing. So anything below, 15 degrees Celsius, I would literally be freezing. I'd be wearing like 2 pairs of socks and some long johns and 2 or 3 pairs of pants and 3 long sleeve shirts and a pair of long john tops and a couple of sweaters and jacket or 3. I'd be bundled up. Okay, so maybe I can ask you guys this, because this is what I added to my list earlier. What in the world is this app? I don't know if it's an app or a website called TikTok. Have you heard of that? I know they're talking about it in the drama community, but I don't know what it is. Yeah, that would be a huge nope for me. That would be spend summers over there and come back to Florida for the winter. Because I can't do cold very well. Yeah, they were like talking about it like it was interchangeable, that it was, musically and TikTok. So I didn't know if it was like something new. I think it was Patrick Starr had like posted something about it on Instagram. I just wasn't curious enough to go check it out. It's one of those new Fandangle apps that's probably going to die in about 6 months to a year. So I'm not going to go download something on my phone that I know is going to die. I'm surprised Snapchat has survived this long. I love this song too. Shallow by Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. I don't know. I guess it's some of the younger 20s and younger crowd that's, using it. See, and I don't use Snapchat anymore due to the inappropriate materials that I was getting on there. I have Twitter, Facebook and Instagram, and of course YouTube. See, and I used to get it all the time, and I don't know why. I really don't. And I don't know how these people like found me, because you think that they have to have your username or whatever to send you a message. So I don't know how they were finding me. Because it's literally my first initial, my middle initial, and the first few letters of my last name is what my username was. And oh my, hang on, let me flip you around. He's just being so darn cute. I know it's probably just a cat mom thing, but Connor, come in. Sorry, I had an ooh shiny moment. Okay, so that's one thing I wanted to explain to you. The watermarks on pictures. The reason why some drama channels use that is because of people like Stephen Mango and John Cookian. Oh, actually, you're not going to be able to, it's going to be backwards for you here. Okay, can you read that? And yes, my handwriting's awful. Home, 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 home. So. Okay, so it started to happen a lot with Beauty Truth Sleuth because people would send her like direct messages of tweet interactions between certain people, and like say they were like direct messages between party A and party B. So it wasn't like an actual like tweet thread, it was a direct message back and forth between two people. So it wasn't like something that would show up on your Twitter wall. And so yes, so they would send things to her for proof or reference or receipts or whatever the hell you want to call it. And she would use it in a video, and then somebody would either screenshot that part of her video or screen record it. Yeah, right? I write like a doctor. Exactly. And she does that because people have literally gone through and screen recorded her entire video and then done commentary over, like they delete her sound, but then they do their own commentary over it, and they use her video and put it up on their channel, but just with whatever their commentary or music is that's different. That's it. So that's why she started like watermarking the piss out of everything, was because of the fact that people would literally record everything. Well, again, you can say one of you guys screen recorded me like here, and then you deleted the sound off, or you like played a little bit of my clip and then paused it and then said a couple of things and then like played the rest of my video. All you have to do is comment on like certain parts of it, or leave an FTC like fair use guideline disclaimer somewhere in it, and say one or two things in the actual video, and there's your fair use. That's it. You don't literally have to do much in order to take somebody's content and turn it around and use it, or I should say reuse it. Too lazy to do their own research, to be honest. I think that's what all that shit is. God, that's a good song too. Need to get my story straight. Friends are in the bathroom playing higher than the Empire State. So out to the bar. I can buy some sunglasses. So I was gonna buy the scar. I listened to you months ago. I did forget. It is. It's like, it makes me think about the whole plagiarism thing that we used to have to like make sure we cited our sources in school. I'm calling down, I hurry you home tonight. We are young, so we set the world on fire. And my cat's all like curling up as I'm singing. Here, let me put my other earbud in and I'll let you watch him for a second. I love this song. We are young. I just ate, so let's set the world on fire. We can move brighter and the sun. Oh, that. Hey, Connor, don't dig your ear, buddy. Hey, leave your ear alone. And made me lose my spot. Carry me home tonight. We are young. Hey, nothing like a midnight snack, right? Now he's not being cute. He was being cute when I first flipped it. And I love this song. I don't even know who it's by. Okay, who's the artist? I know the name of it. Actually, well, you have to think about it like this, okay? You, number one, have to stay on top of like your social media 24/7, or you have to have people that you trust to stay on social media 24/7 in order to get receipts. And then you have to you take all the little clips and things, and then you have to put them into your video editor and then splice everything together. And then once you do that, then you do your commentary and whatnot over it. So I know for me, when I'm doing like a makeup video and say I've got 4 clips that I've recorded and I put them into my video editor, I then have to click on the render button so that when I try and watch it, it's not, and you're like, okay. And then you have to like pause it and then render it so that when you go to play it, it's smooth and it doesn't like cut and jump and whatnot. And it's just how it is when you move a file from one place to another and you're trying to edit it. And then when I do videos and I add in like text on the screen, true, but it's harder than you think. Like when I did the birthday wish list thing that I put up, and I recorded it outside. I sat outside. It was a beautiful day. I sat outside and recorded like off of paper what my notes were, and then I went through and it was like 30 something minute long video, and then I had to go in and add pictures into the video for everything that I talked about. So I had to listen, and then when I talked about the next item, I had to pause it and then pull the file in and then drop the file down into the editor and pull it up into the video. And then I had to like resize it and position it where I wanted it. And then depending on if I went and talked about another product like right after it, I have to like shorten the amount of time that it plays on the video. And then go and find the other photo, pull that in, and do the same thing over and over and over. It's really fucking tedious. It takes anywhere from an hour to 4 hours just to edit a 5-minute video. Yeah, I've worked in a salon where you work a straight 12-hour day and you're on your feet for a solid 12 hours and you have no breaks for lunch. And the only time you can go pee is when you've got a chemical sitting and processing. So, been there, done that. I know all about those days. Or, you know, I can't take breaks from work because I come in, I open the salon, I work until X time, and then I would leave at one point and I would go to, I would, you know, drive 10 minutes, 15 minutes down the road, go to class for 3 hours, leave class, and then eat food in the car while I'm driving back to the salon to go back to work. So I've had days like that, and literally your like bladder's bursting because not only did you work the morning, you drove somewhere, sat in class, drove back somewhere, and now you've really got to go. Uh-oh, Ada's being honest now. I'm frozen. Why am I frozen? It's frozen on my end. Can you guys still hear me? You can hear me, but I still have that weird expression on my face. I don't know what to do. Well, there's another country heard from. And when I hit the thing to like flip the camera, all it does is flip the picture on the screen. And it's not even, it doesn't even give me like an option to like, to chat with you guys. Like I can't type anything to you guys. But you can still hear me, right? Well, I mean, we're just talking, so it's not like you need to watch me crochet. Right? That's my almost annoyed face, right? Okay, so now that we got my contempt, or I need to fart and I'm holding it in. Whoops. I forgot what stitch I was doing for a minute. Contempt. Okay, so Nicole sent me a list on Instagram, and you know the funny thing is a lot of these are things that I've thought of before, and I think and I told her we needed to like do like a collaboration where, let's see, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there's 11 on here. So we literally could have done 5 and 5. But let's see. Well, there's a whole bunch of stuff on here. So what I think we ought to do is when I do like live streams and I'm doing like a makeup look or a hair tutorial, because I already had some on my list, but then you brought up stuff that I forgot to write down. And there's something that you said, you put on here about the sponsorships not being disclosed. I just complained about that yesterday on a Peter Mon. Yeah, I think it was yesterday. Peter Mon's video. I thought I was subscribed to your channel. If not, I'll do it. Yeah, what I'll do is it takes for the live stream on my side to show up in my YouTube like dashboard. I have to wait like an hour for it after it goes live for me to add anything to the description. So most likely what I'll do is do that in the morning when I get up. Because it's, you know, it's 8:30. I've been awake since 4:30 this morning. It should, like, I get email notifications for, like, if somebody has a private YouTube account, like their subscriptions are private, I'll get an email saying, you know, X, Y, and Z person has subscribed to you on YouTube. Other times, if you go to, on your dashboard, you can actually click on subscribers and see, like, everybody that is a... Actually, Ada, all you have to do is tap on her name here in chat, and it should take you to her channel. Oh, crap. I just did a double stitch instead of a single stitch. Rebecca Lynn. But I can, like, if you have your subscriptions set not to private, then I can go to my subscriber page and it shows me everybody that's subscribed to me all the way back to the very first one, and it tells me like how long ago they subscribed. The list is about, okay, that I think that's something that we must have skipped. And I talked about this in a live stream, was it last week, I think, Michael? Was it that I discussed this list? Anyways, okay, so the list is things YouTubers do that I don't understand. And that's actually what is written at the top of the page. Like, one half of the page is like either videos that I've been asked to record or videos I need to record that I've told people I will record for them. And then the other side of the page is just like, I'll watch like videos on YouTube and I'll just write stuff down. Stuff that I see in videos that doesn't make sense to me, or stuff that other YouTubers do that makes me scratch my head and go, what? So that's what this list is. It's basically stuff that confuses the piss out of me, and I don't know why other YouTubers do it. And I don't know. I've looked for like the reasoning. Like, I literally have like Google searched all of the topics that I had written down before Nicola gave me her list of 11. Yes, that too. Absolutely annoys me to death. Like the sister stuff. That counts, right? It's a double S. SS, sister stuff. Sister shit, yep. What do you mean about being absent? You mean like when YouTubers take a hiatus and they don't tell anybody they're leaving, they just stop putting videos up, and then all of a sudden they put up a video and they're like, I'm back. You're like, well, no duh, we got a notification for it, but where the hell did you go? I've wondered about that too. But I mean, I know I've been sick and I haven't been able to post. Well, if I'm going to not be able to post, I try and put something out. There've been times when I have been so freaking sick, like migraine, puking my brains out, the smell of my hair makes me want to vomit, rolling over in bed makes me want to hurl. My brain hurts so bad. I've got cold stuff on my feet, my hands, and hot stuff on my head. But like, if I'm not going to be away, like I took the entire month of October off of YouTube. And it was because I would feel fine one day and then the next day I would have a migraine. And then it would go away for like 2 hours and then it would come back. And it was like 2.5 weeks solid with a migraine. And the beginning of the month, we didn't have internet. And then we were having problems with our internet service provider for like 2 weeks in September. So I was recording videos. The problem is trying to get them uploaded because we didn't have any internet. Like we were literally running at like 0.02 Mbps. Right? Yeah, I can't stand that either, Nicola. Or, like the clickbait title, like there was a bigger YouTuber that did it recently that used the thing "I'm quitting YouTube," and then they didn't. It was some like stupid thing just to get people to come to their channel and give them views. Now, granted, I'm lucky. I literally barely have enough views on YouTube to keep monetization. I will tell you that now. You have to have in order for monetization, you have to have a minimum of 1,000 subscribers and 240 watch time minutes. 240,000 or it's 4,000 or 240,000 minutes of watch time in order to keep monetization. And I've been on YouTube. I started my YouTube channel December 21st of 2013, but I didn't put anything on my channel until like June of 2014, I think. And then because I have another YouTube channel, but I don't really use it much anymore because I was posting like jewelry stuff on here and tutorials and that kind of stuff for jewelry making. Because this is technically my business YouTube account. This isn't my personal account. My personal YouTube account has like me singing on it and just random like cat videos, and I haven't posted on it like a while. But it was so much harder trying to keep both of them up and running that I just decided to stop posting on the other channel because I had like 22 subscribers for like the longest time and it didn't ever change. And those were all people from... Oh, when an anonymous... Oh, hi. I didn't see her pop in. Or him. Them. We. Us. See, and I love... okay, monetization is like when you watch a video of mine and an ad plays for... And Google AdSense says different things for it, but for every 1,000 views on that video that plays said ad, you earn anywhere between $2 and like $5 per 1,000 views. And so with my videos, I try and space the ads out so that they're even throughout the video, and I try and always put the same amount of ads in the video. I don't care if it's 5 minutes long. Well, you can't add extra ads. In order to change however many ads are in your video, it has to be more than 10 minutes long. So when I'm doing like the description box and the date that the video was recorded and the, that kind of thing, I should have, I don't know. There might be, because I think for every video, no matter if you select it or not, I think an ad plays at the beginning of everything, at least one ad. And even if YouTubers aren't monetized, YouTube will still play ads on their video, and YouTube does that so they make money. The channel isn't making any money. YouTube does then. And For whatever reason, YouTubers aren't allowed to like talk about how much they make on YouTube. But I can tell you right now, the money that I've made this month, for the month of December, is equivalent to every dime that I have made on AdSense dating back to December of 2013. No, and some people are misconstrued about that as well. If an ad plays and you hit skip, I get paid the same amount of money as it would if you watch the whole thing. The other thing is, well, and AdSense just changed this recently, but, well, they've changed a couple things recently. You have to have a $100 minimum payout on AdSense in order to get a check from Google. The thing that they just changed is that you used to be able to have your money sent to you via like PayPal and stuff like that. Now they've changed it so it's only a bank draft. So you have to have either a checking account or a savings account to get paid. And before December money rolls into my account, I'm sitting at like I was sitting at like $62 in my AdSense account, and that's all the money I've earned from like my blog, YouTube, my website, Tumblr, Facebook, anywhere that I have an ad placed. And this goes back to like 2012 for like my website and stuff, because I've had an AdSense account since before YouTube. So I've earned money separately from YouTube. But again, it's like, I think last month somebody actually must have clicked on an ad and bought something, because I earned $2.39 last month off of AdSense from my website where I sell my jewelry. So, but I think AdSense from YouTube last month was like $15 or $17, something like that. Right? But I don't have a checking account and I don't have a savings account. So when I reach that $100 threshold, which is the first, way that you have to have a minimum of $100 in order to get a payout, period. But in order for me to get my very first check off of YouTube, I have to, like, I've even talked to my dad about it, because I don't have a checking account or a savings account. My dad is going to have to help me open an account in order for me to get the money deposited. Okay, now I just had to scroll up and read what you said, Nicola. If you watch a video on YouTube for an ad, and you click on that and it takes you to a website and you buy something like the Hubble contacts, I keep seeing ads for those. So you pay your $3 shipping and you get your contacts, right? The YouTuber that you clicked on that ad for and you bought those contacts off of, they will get a commission from that sale, yes. As far as I know, if you watch an ad from start to finish without hitting skip on it, we don't get any more money than it just showing for the 15 seconds or 30 seconds or however long it makes you watch it before you can skip it. I haven't noticed a difference in that at all. Exactly. Like the video that I recorded yesterday morning is sitting in my editor right now. I pulled it in this morning and I started editing it, and I edited that video for about 4.5 hours today, and it's not even done. Well, if it was me, I'd return it, but But yeah, just know that, like, oh, and the links in the description box, that's something we also need to touch on. And I know other YouTubers have talked about this, but if you look at my description box and it says go.magically. What that is it's technically an affiliate link. If you click on that, it shows like every time somebody clicks on it, it shows me like, now granted, I've only earned 8 cents total since I've had Magically, but it's a web link URL shortener, and so it tracks like how many clicks and kind of like a rough estimate location. Like it'll say like United States, I had 7 clicks this month, that kind of thing. But say you click on a gomagically.link in somebody's description box and it takes you to ulta.com. And say you don't buy anything then, but like 2 weeks later or 2.5 weeks later, you go to ulta.com and you buy something from them. The person you clicked on that link from, or the last person you clicked on a link that was like that was a shortened URL, they're going to get money for you clicking that link, because what it does is it saves cookies on your computer for up to, sometimes it's up to 90 days, but usually it's a 30-day period. And any links that you've clicked that are affiliate links, it, well, I'm just using that as an example. Sephora, whatever, Walmart, like, I'll link like Walmart, Ulta, Sephora. I try and link like either where I bought the product or wherever I can find it. Like the Ipsy, like when I did the Ipsy unbagging the other day, when I was looking up the products online, like some of them come from like the one website that makes all the cute little travel size makeup. They're not approved for Magically to shorten their URL. They're not like an approved store for them. So I put the whole link from the actual product page. And what it does is it causes more characters to be used in the description box versus shortening it. But, you know, either way, I want to be able to link the items that I'm talking about or that I'm using, so that if somebody wants to look at it, read about the product, see how much it costs, that kind of thing. That's one reason why I do it. I don't link stuff so that people can buy it. You know what I mean? I know most YouTubers do link stuff so they'll go and people will go and buy it, but $5,000. There's 5,000 characters allowed in our description box. And up to 250 characters in our tags. It's a hashtag. So like if you go to like the YouTube search bar and you type in Rebecca Oberstadt, you'll see like a ton of my videos. Or if you type in like long hair, thick hair, wavy hair, family friendly, those are like tags. Those are words that you can use to search. Exactly. If you type in drama or tea, things like that, you'll end up with a whole bunch of drama channels. And then if you want to like be very specific about something you're typing in, say you type in drama, comma, Jaclyn Hill. And what it'll do is it'll pull up all the videos that have drama as a tag and Jaclyn Hill as a tag. Night, Ada. Yeah, I just yawned. It's almost 9 o'clock here, so it's pretty early in the wee morning there for you. Guten Night. Or Guten Tag. Yeah, that's good night. Auf Wiedersehen. Or maybe I should do good night. Or is it so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, good night? Guten Tag? Yeah, it probably is. I've been awake too long. Bonne nuit. How does that work? That work for you? Bonne nuit. That's good night in French. I can remember that one. Or buenos noches. That's Spanish. And then, let's see, Japanese. Ohayo. Konnichi. Konbanwa. Konbanwa is good evening in Japanese. So even if I can't remember German, I got French, Spanish, English, and Japanese. Does that count for good night? Well, all I know is that when I woke up, you were up. Let's see, I got up at 4:30, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that was 9:30 a.m. your time. And you had messaged me like 20 minutes before I woke up on Instagram. When I checked Instagram this morning when I woke up, you had literally like messaged me like 20 minutes before. Yeah, I would be curious to try, like, I have a friend that lives in Finland, and I haven't spoken to her in probably a year. I hope she's doing okay. But she always talked about, like, sending me a care package of, like, just little, like, munchy things and stuff that they sell there. Um, but I would like to try, like, I've never been out of the country ever. I've literally only left the state of Florida 4 times my entire life. Are you religious at all, Nicola? Or do you practice a religion? And I mean, it's okay if you do or don't. I mean, I'm just asking, curious. My brother just got home. Because, okay, there's a round that, like, if I wake up, say, like, I wake up and I'm in a lot of pain, and I've had times when I'll wake up and literally my legs don't work, and everything from my waist down is dead. But you wake up and the first thing you kind of have to do is go pee, and you're like trying to shut it off. So, and I've sung this usually at spiritual events, but it's kind of like a calming song, but it's around, so the music is kind of like over and over and over again. It's kind of like, well, there's another song I used to sing when I was a kid, but it's, we all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain flowing to the ocean. And there's more verses to it, but it's like, if you think about, if you have like a specific song that you can remember, even if it's something that you sang as a child, think about that song in your head and run it through in your head. And what it does is it causes like this like relaxing sensation to come over you, and whatever fear that you have, it kind of diminishes, because not only are you thinking of something that you're fond of, but you're thinking of something that brings you comfort at the same time. You might try putting some crystals on your headboard. If my video wasn't frozen, I'd show you what mine looks like right now. But when I was a kid, I used to always, because I would wake up in the middle of the night and my room would be pitch black, and I would see like spirits of animals in my room, and they'd like be lined up at the foot of my bed, and they'd be on either sides of my bed, and I would see animal spirits like all over my room. And well, you could try that too, or a light blue candle, and then burn the light blue candle at the very center of your house, and that also helps with clearing things. But I would lay in bed and I would like think this song to myself, and just thinking the song like I would be singing it kind of helped calm me down and made the animal spirits dissipate. And to be honest, I still to this day, if I wake up like startled or something in the middle of the night, I still see spirits. So I'm better with it now. But there are times when I wake up and like body parts don't move, like I can't close my hands, or my legs don't work, or you go to get out of bed and you realize nothing is working. So I learned this probably in like, I was 3 or 4 when I learned it. And it's actually a Jewish song. It is Shalom Avadim, Shalom Avadim, Shalom. Ooh, so hang on. Shalom Avadim, Shalom Avadim, Shalom, Shalom. Lehithro, Lehithro, Shalom, Shalom. And there's also an English, you do the Hebrew verse first, and then you do the English verse after. You can get it anytime, to be honest. And sleep paralysis is usually caused by a trauma. If you do more research on it, I can guarantee you'll find more articles out there that, oh, thank you. And I'm not really in a good position to be singing, because I'm kind of like slouched down in bed and been drinking soda and I'm vaping. So, but I'll sing the whole thing for you really quick, because maybe, and it's called Around, kind of like row, row, row your boat. But I'll do the Hebrew verse and then the English verse. I might be able to help you with that. I'll have to do like a live stream during the day when I'm sitting at my computer, where I have more resources and I'm sitting, more upright than I am right now. But I should be able to help with that problem. But just thinking of the song or just thinking of anything that's comforting to you that is music related. And you know what? What are you doing tomorrow during the day? I know I've got to get videos edited and stuff like that, but if you want, I can go live in the morning. I almost went live at like 9 o'clock this morning, my time. I used to take diazepam for seizures. What milligram are you on? Diazepam is Valium. Okay, that's a pretty mild dose. You can actually break those in half if you need to. I used to take 10 milligrams every 12 hours. It's really a mild sedative. Sometimes it makes people tired, but until you get used to it, they're not really that. They're not addictive. Well, you have to understand, I used to take 90 milligrams of morphine 3 times a day. So I was on see, 90, 180, was it 270 milligrams of morphine a day? That doesn't sound right. My brain's dead. No, it was, the most I ever took a day, I think, was 120 milligrams of morphine. Not to mention the muscle relaxers and the Valium and the Neurontin and everything else that I was taking. The muscle relaxers I was taking like years ago that caused my blood pressure to drop is called Xanaflex. And then once I kept passing out on it because I have low blood pressure anyways. So the doctor put me on baclofen. And that stuff is like the bomb. I can't take like somas. I have really bad reaction to those. Yeah, that stuff does basically nothing for me. I could take an entire bottle of that and walk perfectly fine. And it doesn't really touch my pain. When I was in like 6th grade, not diagnosed. They gave me Vicodin, and I was on 750 milligrams of Vicodin during menstrual cycles, going all the way back to like 6th grade. So you figure if I was, 11 years old taking 750 milligrams of Vicodin, oxycodone is not going to do anything for me. Sometimes medications can cause a sleep paralysis too. It could be an interaction with your meds that's causing, what it does is it messes with the chemicals in your brain, and it causes some receptors to fire different than other receptors and the meds together. Like when I used to take my meds, I had to take all of my pills at like certain times. And if I say ran out of a script and I took all my pills when I was supposed to, except for one prescription, and then I went to the pharmacy, got it, came home an hour or so later and took the pill, it was on a different timing than my other meds, even though the next dose I would take at my normal time, because my medication is so used to being in my system at, a certain time every day. And if I take a pill at a different time, the chemical composition in your body changes the way your body processes things. So if you think about it, with any type of like meds for like fibromyalgia, it's a neural stimulator. So you take something that's going to stimulate your neurons, and then you take a pain receptor medication like morphine, and what that does is it goes and it blocks pain receptors. So you have one thing that's messing with your nerves, and you got one thing messing with your pain receptors. Some of these medications that doctors prescribe, and I'm sure in the UK they're a lot better about not cross-contaminating, I guess you could call it, medications so that they're going to fight. But if you take one medication and like an hour later take another one, number one, it gives that first medication a chance to get in your system and do what it's supposed to do. When the other medication, 20 minutes after you take it, finally hits your system, it's going to not affect the first medication as bad. But I've also been taking medication for like fibromyalgia and chronic pain and PTSD and all kinds of pain symptoms and stuff like that since I was 18. Yeah, and see, after my surgery in 2016, they ended up ripping a hole in my bladder, so I know all about that stuff. I'll give you an ovary if you need one. I still have 2. Those are fine. They blowtorch them bad boys. Well, I'm just saying, if you need, anything that's extra, I'll share. Yeah, it could just be a simple interaction of your medication that's messing up your brain. I mean, my one doctor was like, well, take this pill at this time and take this pill like an hour before bed and take this pill at like bedtime. And I'm like, dude, fuck all that. I'm going to put them in my hand and I'm going to take them all at one time. I'm not going to be doing this one at like 3 hours before bedtime and then I'm falling asleep before I take the next pill. And then at bedtime, I'm already passed out somewhere, so I can't take the next pill. Screw that. You have to really listen to your body and what your body wants and what your body needs. Doctors can only do so much. They're not living in your body with you. And as as good as some of us are at describing some of the symptoms that we go through or the things that we feel, like I'm very in tune with my body. Like I can tell you where certain things are, what's off, what doesn't feel right. Hell, you can touch one hair on my body, whether or not it's on my leg, my arm, or my head, and I can tell you exactly where it's attached. That's my problem. I am oversensitive. Ow. Hey, Chris. Yeah, I've been live streaming like every day. Yeah, I'm frozen. I've been frozen for like half an hour now. You crushing it in Overwatch there, man? I have you on BattleNet, dweeb. I didn't play any Blizzard games at all today. It's been a rough day for me. It was rough last night. I've been in a lot of pain the past 48 hours. I didn't I recorded a video this morning. I've been trying to upload videos off my phone all day. I edited one for several hours. You don't even know what we two ate. Ate. What did we eat? Oh, a video game. I'm a complete nerd. I mean, you've seen my book collection in my bedroom. Oh, yeah. Don't do that. YouTube might yell at you because you're sending messages too fast. I guess they do that so because they don't want people to spam. Oh, Nicola, have you seen the Truthful YouTuber tag videos? And if yes, do you think I should do one? I've never played any like Fallout games, but I also don't have a what are those things? Consoles? I'm a PC man. I did download Caesar, was it Caesar 4? I used to play like the Caesar games back in the day, so I downloaded Caesar 4 not too long ago. I don't know, I guess I'm particular in what games I like. I want vampires and elves and fairies and werewolves. Like I like fantasy games. Like I tried to play was it Elder Scrolls? I tried playing Morrowind and games like that, the way that you control everything with your mouse made me want to like hurl. And Overwatch is like that for me. When I first started playing Overwatch, I was like seasick playing that game. The way that, you know, you have to use your standard movement keys, but the mouse is like what controls how you look, and you can't. I like to be able to like look from behind my head. I want to see like the back of my character. I don't want to see like out of my character's eyes, because when you look out of your character's eyes, it makes me like feel seasick. I don't think I've ever heard of that game, but I guess I'm different. I've played like Baldur's Gate and um, Heroes of Might and Magic, the Age of Empire games, all of the Blizzard games. And I'm talking online and offline. Let's see. I have like Elemental and Caesar, all the sim games like SimCity, SimCity 2000, Sim War, Sim Farm. I played all those games. I haven't played any of the actual games that they call the Sims, though. I've never played those. I've played like some sandbox games like Arcade, um, Devilion. I just downloaded some new cute little fairy looking game. I can't remember the name of it right now. See, I've never played either of those. And like my dad, he like played. Oh, I used to play Wolfenstein too. Um, and Duke Nukem. Did you guys ever play those? Okay, I liked playing games like those when I was younger. Like I played Duke Nukem, like all the Duke Nukem games. But those are games that I grew up on. Or there was one game that I used to, well, have you ever heard of Leisure Suit Larry? I have a Commodore 64. We still have one. That was my first computer. Okay, the people that made Leisure Suit Larry came out with another game called King's Quest. Did you ever hear of the King's Quest games? Well, remember, Nicola, you're only 6 months or 9 months younger than me. Okay, King's Quest was made by Sierra, and I loved playing that game. Loved it. I've also played like Wizardry, all the Wizardry games. I used to play those. I don't think we had the Terminator game. I remember it, but I don't think we ever got that. I think my mom, I wasn't even allowed to see the Terminator. You have King's Quest 4? I miss playing King's Quest 4. Or are you talking about Terminator? Oh, Wizardry. I think my favorite Wizardry one was it either 8 or 9? I think it's I think it's 8, Wizardry 8, where you end up like, if you walk, there's this one little like forest path, if you walk down into it, they like put you to sleep, and then the girl comes down on the hoverboard and has to like revive you again. I think it was Wizardry 8. Could be 9. That was a long time ago. And the game that I liked the most for my Commodore 64 was Geostorm. I actually still have my Geostorm floppy disk. And last time I took out the Amiga that we have, it still worked. Well, the computer still works and the game still works. That was like 20 years ago, though. You'll have to send me that list on BattleNet so I can look at it. I wonder how many of those top 5 games I've actually played. That would be interesting to see. I would probably have to sit down and look at all the games that I've played over the years, or sit down and think about all the games that I've played over the years, and probably go through the collection I have now and see. Yeah, I've never played Fallout or Skyrim. But there's the my dad plays like Warframe, and before that he was playing, I want to say it starts, I think it's Wolf something. They just came out with the 3rd version of that not too long ago, and the expansion for it. It's basically where the guy looks like a human, but he wears the wolf necklace. I never played any of the Sonic games. But then again, the only game I've ever played on a Nintendo was Zelda, and that was the Gold Zelda. Yes, Witcher, thank you. Yeah, Dad has played all 3 of those. Dad used to play like Minecraft. I couldn't get into Minecraft. The pixelation on it just drove me insane. And I know people like love that game, and I can't do it. Now, I have a Nintendo DS. It's actually up here on my headboard. I have a Harvest Moon game in it. All I know is that every time I tried to play Zelda and I got anywhere near water, the serpents that came out of the water always killed me. Hey, that's what that's what makes the world go around, right? Well, my thing is you have to think about it as to what the person's preference is, how they grew up, what they grew up playing, where they're from. All of those things kind of play in to whatever fantasy that we want to create in a game world. I mean, it's just like reading a book. If I read a book and when I like go to bed at night after, say, reading a chapter or two, and I close my eyes before I go to sleep, and like I drift off to sleep, and while I'm sleeping I end up dreaming about like parts of the book, or like reliving the parts of the book while I dream. That's what I enjoy, is that immersion effect where you can feel like you are literally in the scene. So when an author does like a really good job describing the way things feel, the atmosphere, the smells, the sights, the touch, the every aspect of like a scenario inside of whatever I'm reading, and I then either think about it later and like I can picture it in my mind like a movie or a video, that to me is like something that interests me. If I read something and I'm like bored out of my mind and I'm like, oh God, another page, am I done yet? I'm not going to be interested in it. And I'm the same way with video games. I have to have something that I can actually imagine myself being there or being that character or being in that place with the sights, the sounds, the touches, you know, all the sensations that you would have from playing a game experience. Like the very first time I played Diablo and you go into the city and you're fighting to get to Deckard Cain, and then he sends you off and you, like, say you get in there with the butcher and he's, now the old butcher didn't used to say, you know, fresh meat kind of thing, but like he like growls at you through the door before you even get into him, and your heart starts to pump, and like you get kind of anxious, and you're like breathing a little bit faster, and you're kind of like anxious about getting in there, and then you get in there and your like heart rate just jumps through the roof. Games like that affect me like that are games that I'm going to play. If I'm playing a game and I'm like, yawn, I'm like, no thanks. Being a parent equals Fallout 4. Is it like zombies and like end of world events, apocalyptic kind of stuff? Jack, you in pain, Jack? He's just beating him nice and good, pulling on his tail, you know, yanking his ear, petting him backwards. Jack, why you gotta be so loud? Poor Connor. Got your ear all kicked funny and everything. Okay, we killed chat. Well, at least I know the stream is still going. The timer's still at the top of the screen. That's the only way that I know that the stream is still live. Nicola, did you fall asleep on me? I'm getting tired. You know, I've been streaming for 150 minutes almost. At least that's what it says on my screen. Oh, that would suck. Send me a link to like a video of it or something so I can watch some gameplay. My dad played a game that sounds similar to that. But like there was all these like weird like the humans were like mutated and stuff from being near radioactive stuff, and he had to like go around and pick up clues and do quests and stuff like that. See, my dad plays a whole lot of different games. Uh-oh. See, and I don't like stuff with like zombies and stuff like that in it. Zombies like creep me out. Now, I'll watch like zombie movies, but there's just, I don't know, there's just something about them. I'm not into them. You either but, ... Mm-hmm. Like I said, I'm more into like vampires and elves and werewolves. Oh, again with the butt. You know, you're sticking your butt out in here pretty good. Next, you're gonna have your whole ass showing. Wait, who's screaming? The people in the game or the player? That's all I need to do is scream while I'm playing a video game. My dad will think I'm being murdered or something. Wendigos. Well, if you can think of the name of that game that you were just talking about, Nicola, Chris might even know. No, but the name of a Wendigo, hell, I can't even pronounce it right now. That sounds familiar. I'm just gonna call it a wingding from now on. Does that work? The game with the wingdings in it. And you know, I'd ask my dad, but I'm lucky if he can remember what games he played 2 years ago. I'm already holding on to something. What else you want me to hold? Believe it or not, some of the video games that we play, they use all kinds of different actors and actresses in them, and you wouldn't know unless you either recognized the voice of the person or saw the credits. Like the guy that played Q on Star Trek is in StarCraft for, it's in the Blizzard game StarCraft. See, and the only name I can think of right now for that is Hayden Christensen, and that's a guy. So, that wouldn't work. Denied. Chris told us to hang on, but I don't know what he wants us to hold. Is that the name of the game that she was talking about? Until Dawn? Okay, you're going to have to... I'm not going to remember these tomorrow. So, send me a message on Battle.net and send me that game too. My computer's going to be out there. Ping, 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 ping. And I'm in my room here, sitting here crocheting on the bed. I think my scarf's almost long enough, though. Or my computer probably put itself to sleep. Hayden Panettiere. I remember who she is. I haven't seen her do anything in like years. She was like very popular in like the 2000s. Wait, are you thinking about Hayden doing that? Chris? You visualizing Hayden there? Boys. Uh-huh. Backpedaling on that one, aren't you, buddy? So that's wholesome. Oh, you got the wrong channel for that. Yeah, she is beautiful. She's about our age, isn't she, Nicola? She's got to be at least 30. I used to watch her. There was a couple of TV shows that I used to watch her in. Hell, I can't remember what the hell they're. I know she's been in a couple of like shows on TV. I remember seeing her and stuff like that. And I know she was in a Nashville show a while back, but actually, wasn't it the show Nashville? But I've never watched it. Yeah, I figured she was about 30. I wasn't too far off. My brain ain't completely dead yet. Hey, well, you know, it's not like we don't drool over actors. I know there's actually the majority of the actors that I drool over, they're all British, so or Australian or Scottish or Irish. I don't know. I don't know if it's the accent or the way that they speak or the differences between how people are raised in the UK versus, or I should say Europe, versus how they're raised here, that makes the men from Europe seem so different from ours. Gerard Butler, Gerard Butler. I actually, yes, I love Ice Princess. But you know what's really sad though is the main actress from that show, she had like a bunch of like work done on her face and whatnot, and I think yeah, Michelle Trachtenberg. She had a bunch of like plastic surgery type stuff done and she doesn't look the same anymore. Or at least I don't think she does. She used to be so pretty. And I mean, don't get me wrong, she's still pretty. It's just not the same. I never watched any of the Scream movies. Any of them. I didn't even watch any of the spoof Scream movies. And I didn't watch any of the I Know What You Did Last Summer kind of movies. That kind of stuff doesn't really interest me. Yeah, but then again, I've also never seen any of the Godfather movies. I was thinking about that last night when I was looking at something on Netflix. I know. No, yeah. I'm okay with horror movies, but it depends on if it's like House on the Haunted Hill kind of like horror movie or is it like Saw kind of horror movie. And I've only seen like little bits and pieces of Saw and I don't like movies like that. Again, if I'm gonna watch a movie, it's again gonna have the same premise as like my video games: vampires, fairies, werewolves, fantasy, sci-fi, that kind of stuff. Like I just got in the Farscape movie, the Peacekeeper Wars movie. I've watched Farscape all the way through several times, but I had never seen the movie, and it came in on Netflix. Was it Saturday? Friday? Yeah, it came in Friday, and I watched it Saturday. I'm a Star Wars and Star Trek freak. You know, I think, to be honest, I think Kylo Ren might be mine. Well, Luke Skywalker and Harrison Ford, but oh my God, you haven't? You need to. That's what I grew up on, that stuff. I love me some Captain Picard, man. I don't care that he's 70 something years old. He is still a fine looking man. But then again, so is Sean Connery, and he's old enough to be my grandfather. Or Ian McKellen. I mean, if you get past his nose that's bigger than mine, I think he's a pretty good looking man too for his age. And if you look at pictures of him when they were younger, holy crap. Yeah. Well, I think I'm going to get ready for bed. I've been streaming for 161 minutes, almost 162 minutes. I'm getting tired. And we just had somebody else join chat. I love it. Every time I'm trying to get, I'm going to be going offline or whatever, somebody else joins chat. Let me guess, you have the Death March song as your ringtone. Well, Happy New Year to you too. I'll be live streaming tomorrow. Yeah, I call it the Death March because every time you hear it, Darth Vader's going to be entering the room. Like, uh-oh, this stuff's about to get real, man. You said you're a horror freak. What? See, I think the ringtone on I have an Apple, so my ringtone is whatever was the least obnoxious. No, no, no. I read you right the first time. You said horror. you're you're really big into the horror stories. You love the horror. Wait, do you play WoW, right? The force is strong with this. See, that would like creep me out though. If like I got a text message and my phone said, something like "talk to me," I think that I'd be like, "Wait, I heard something. Who's talking? I'm all by myself and I hear voices." And then it would dawn on, I'd be like, "Oh, you idiot! It's your phone." I used to have like back when I had my Nokia like flip phones and stuff like that back in the like 2000s, I had different like ringtones and things that would talk to me when different things went off or different people called. But I stopped using them because they would go off and I'd start looking around like, who said that? Oh, Jesus. Well, see, nobody ever uses my phone number, so, you know, um, somebody actually posted, somebody that I know in person posted something on Facebook today about they were taking applications for friends for 2019, and they wanted to know what constituted a, like, good friend. I didn't know what Angry Birds was until a couple of years ago. Um, I was sitting at a tow yard waiting on my cousin. She was applying for a job, and I'm sitting in the waiting room because I drove her. I was on the motorcycle, and it was either sit on the motorcycle and get rained on because it was raining, or sit in the waiting room with the people that were there waiting on like their vehicles to get like a lube job or something like that. And the guy next to me was playing Angry Birds, and I was like kind of peeking over his shoulder. I was like, "Hey, what's that?" And he actually let me play it on his phone. And that was, I think, 2012 or 2013. Yeah, the last phone call that I got on my phone, it came up because I have an app from AT&T, and it says AT&T scam alert, and it tells me like fraud or teller or something like that. Those are all that calls me anymore. I never have like an actual human call me, and if it is, it's just my dad. Or I have an ex-boyfriend that he'll like text me every once in a while, and he'll text me pictures. And I'm like, thanks? Question mark? Oh, no, this is a guy. I went to high school with him, well, middle school and high school, and we dated for like 3 weeks in 2013. And then he got back with his ex girlfriend and like ghosted. I guess the term now is ghosted. Like he ignored me for like 2 or 3 weeks. And then his ex decided that she wanted to move out of state, and she got a job out of state somewhere else, and then like up and moved on him like one day. And like then he tried to contact me to get back with me. I'm like, dude, you cheated on me with your ex-girlfriend. Why would I get back with you? And for 5 months now, 6 months now, every once in a while I get a random text from him with a picture included, or he's actually come by the house once to see me. But it's usually the same thing. They all always want the same thing. He's a nice guy. I mean, literally, he's the only other person that ever remembers my phone number. Like, he'll send me a message and say, "Hi, how are you doing? You know, how was your day?" Like, he remembered and sent me a text that, like, happy, happy or Merry Christmas, that kind of thing. Like, he remembers to do stuff like that. Or he texted me on my during the week of my birthday and said happy birthday. Nobody else says that. And like I said, we were only together for like 3 weeks. So if a guy can remember when my birthday is, and we only dated for like 3 weeks, even though he's known of me for 20 plus years, I don't know. I'm not going to block him for that. I don't. I mean, he sends me the pictures and I'm like, I don't want these. And then I delete them off my phone. And he sent like, he'll send me a text and say hi like a couple days later. And I was like, dude, why do you like keep sending me pictures of your, I don't want stuff like that on my phone. And he's like, well, I just figured you'd want to look at it. I was like, okay, what's a picture? What am I supposed to do with a picture? I don't know, admire it. I'm like, dude, it's just a picture. I don't worry about it. The only people I block on my phone are those robo-dialer, telemarketer BS stuff. Chris, you know as well as I do exactly what he wants, and I have explicitly told him the answer is no. If that's all I wanted, I would download one of those dating apps, and I would hook up with Tom, Dick, Harry, and Frank. Exactly. Just like I posted that thing on my I have a saved picture on my phone about the that. But I don't understand why guys do it. I get it on just about every social media I've ever had. I've gotten like random guys that send me pictures and I'm like, dude, why? Oh, you're so hot. I'm like, okay, thanks. But why did I need a picture of that? Well, I thought you'd appreciate it. Again, what am I supposed to do with a picture? And like the other question I had for him is, because like I'll get pictures and they're like different backgrounds or different settings. I'm like, do you just like randomly just whip your thing out and take a picture of it? He's like, yeah. I'm like, why? I don't get it. I've asked my dad about it. He doesn't understand either. Oh God. You know, next time I get one of those pictures, I might just send it to you so you can just send it to him. And see what his response is then, Nicola. Maybe that Marshall Mathers character might actually leave you alone. Well, you know, if anybody ever wants to, you know, donate to my foundation, I take all forms of food. Anything that is edible, I will be more than happy to try something edible at least once. If I don't like it, I don't like it, but I'm cheap and easy. You can always feed me. And I leave Super Chat open on all my live streams. Like, you weren't in the live stream that this happened on, but I know Michael was. And I was doing, that was the day that I did the ringlet curls in my hair. And I had somebody donate $2 to my Super Chat. And he's like, show me your belly. And that's all they said. And I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, well, thanks for the $2, but why would you ask me to show you my belly? Yeah, it was like complete, like it was like I was an hour in on the stream, and I had like 4 or 5 other guys, and these were guys in my live stream, like guys that I like talk to or that comment on all my hair videos, and this like person that said something about I love something was the title of their name. I'd have to go back and look because it shows on my community tab. It shows like under Super Chat donations. It says the person's YouTube name, but they gave me $2. Which, by the way, I ended up getting out of that $2. YouTube gave me $1.48. So that gives you, YouTube takes like 30% of whatever people send via Super Chat, which, you know, I leave open. So if somebody does want to donate, then hey, that would help me out a big, you know, greatly, because I would just use that money to put it back in my channel. Yeah, that's exactly what that is. If you click on the thing at the bottom, that's the money sign inside of a box. If you touch that, it says Super Chat on it, and what it does is it sends like a message in chat that's highlighted so like everybody sees it, and then the message stays up on the screen, and it'll actually show at the very top of the stream. It'll say like $2 buy, and it has like the person's name and then whatever message they sent. And then for like I think the cheapest you're allowed to make a donation is either 99 cents or $1. So I have it set at like the lowest setting, so if somebody wants to give me $1, then, you know, more or less, you know, you figure if somebody sends me $1, they've sponsored me for that stream or whatever. Which I always think is funny when I've watched like videos or whatever, and people are they're like unboxing fan mail, and somebody sends like money in the fan mail, and the YouTuber says, "Oh, look, we have money from such and such. They just sponsored this video," and it's like a penny. So I think that's a cute idea. But I always leave Super Chat there just in case somebody wants to donate. I don't really talk about it, and it's kind of funny that we're talking about it now, because I just watched something on it on my YouTube dashboard right before I came to live stream. There was a link for Super Chat on there to like find out more information, and the creator that had created the video for the super chat actually says that when you live stream, at the very beginning of your live stream, you should explain what that is so that people know in your stream. But I think about it this way. I have people that pop in and out of my stream the entire time I'm streaming. So am I supposed to be a broken record and talk about it like the whole stream? Wow. Now, I was on a live stream with either Nick Snyder or Roxana, and one of them got $100 from Rich Lux, and then like the next day they got $100 from Jen Gerard from Gerard Cosmetics, and I was just floored. And one of them said like Merry Christmas or something on it. But I was absolutely floored. I think Nick got one from Jen Gerard and Roxana got one from Rich Lux, and they both got $100. And I was like, holy freaking crap. Because you figure they're still going to get $70 of that money. That's $70. I have 68 cents to my name. 68 cents is all the money I have right now. That's what's in my wallet. I don't have a credit card. I don't have a debit card. I don't have a bank account. I don't have a savings account. I literally have 68 cents to my name. And if I find money out in the parking lot or walking through Walmart, you know, like Walmart or whatever, if I'm inside a store and I find money on the floor, I usually give it to the cashier when I go to check out. But like if I find money in the parking lot, say a quarter or a nickel or a penny, I always pick that stuff up because it's money I didn't have before. Z, you're richer than I am. And I'm not quite sure what the pound conversion is, whether or not it's close to, you know, even, or if it's a little bit under. I'm not quite sure what the currency difference is right now. But last time I heard, the pound and the US dollar were supposed to be pretty evenly matched. But, you know, I think it's funny that people view YouTubers and they expect all of us to make like big bucks and stuff like that. And like like I was telling you earlier, I have earned more this month than I have if you add up all of the money that I've ever earned on AdSense. What I've earned on AdSense since 2012 from all my other like websites and links and that kind of stuff adds up to be what I've earned this month on YouTube. So actually the British pound is actually worth more than an American dollar. Or is it less? I don't know how that conversion stuff works. All I know is that when I was a kid growing up, Canadian money was like 65 cents to a dollar here. And I know people that were like, they would go to Canada and buy a car and then drive it back to the US because you could get a car up there for damn near half the price. Hi, Bubby. You big monster. You finally coming into bed. Is it time for mommy to go to bed? Yeah. Well, hi, baby. Hi. Can you guys hear him yelling at me? Now that my video is frozen, I can't show him to you. Come here, monster. Oh, geez, why are you being so skittish? All I did was move my hand. He is so afraid of my hair. Last night when my hair was braided and Connor was playing with my hair, which I got some video of, I showed it to Bubby and he absolutely freaked out. It was like I had literally thrown my snake on him. He like jumped so freaking bad and like freaked out. You figure for a cat that is twice the size of all the other cats in the house, he was scared of my hair. Don't stand on my hair. Come here, you. What are you doing? Ow! Don't claw my arm. Ready to go to bed? I know, Mommy. Ow! Don't, stop with the claws, buddy. Mommy's tender. Ow. I'm gonna put you back on the bed. Schlub. You didn't spend much time outside today. Are you feeling okay? Your ears are a little warm. Okay, get down. You're heavy. Hey, lard butt. Go lay on the bed, and not me. Fine, I'm gonna stick the microphone in your nose. Oh, you don't rub your face on it. Yes, can you hear him purring? I held the microphone up to his nose, and he like started rubbing his face on the mic. Now I've got white hair stuck all over my black shirt. Oh, there's cat hair stuck in the microphone. Good job, cat. As you can tell, he hates me. You know, purring and stuff. That's growling, right? Not purring. So you're saying a few years ago that the British pound was actually worth half of what our money is, and now it's worth more. That's actually sad for America, but good for the UK. I was 27 then. Okay, so you're saying that our money was worth half of a British pound. Bobby, my feet are... Yes, those are my feet. He just jumped again. You gonna sniff my toe, weirdo? My foot smell okay? It should. I just washed it. It's got lotion on it and everything. Yeah. Well, and what's funny is, do you know, out of all the countries that borrowed money from us for like war efforts and stuff like that, England is the only country that has ever paid back war debts. Now, granted, England paid back the war debts like 6 or 7 years late, or later than the deadline, but they paid all the money back that they borrowed. I would love to move to the UK. But I don't know what the cold would do for my health there, for one. And two, I don't know what the immigration regulations would be. Like, I know if I wanted to move to Canada, all I have to do is prove that my grandmother was born in Canada, and because I'm a direct descendant of hers, I could easily move to Canada. And of course, I would have to pay some money, but for the most part, because she was born in Quebec, it makes it easier for me to move to Canada, because, that's where she's from. I don't know why, but my cat is like being super jumpy tonight. Every time I like move my foot or move the blanket, he like jumps. Like literally being a scaredy cat. And if the video wasn't frozen, I would so show you. And I can't use my phone to take a picture because I'm streaming on it. Nicola, we're going on another 3 hours here. Right? No, it's called eggnog. It's not an alien. I mean, that is if I did the math right. I'm at 184 minutes right now. And if you divide that by 60, that should be 3. So I've been going for 3 hours. Oh, just rolled over to 5. So 3 hours and 5 minutes if I've done my math right. And you know how I do my math in my head. I think I explained that last night. I told you, Jinx. Pinch poke, you owe me a smoke. Instead of a Coke. I don't like Coke, I like Pepsi. Right? Don't make me break out my tin whistle here. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't want to give myself a headache at this hour. That would suck. I have a, sorry for yawning. I have a DNA file, or my DNA is on file with Ancestry. So if you do an Ancestry DNA test, it's possible. Like I said, I'm like 16% Irish and 9% Scottish, and I'm like 99% European. Yeah. All I know is that one of the Irish sides is a Higginson, which is funny because the crest, the family crest for the Higginsons, has a cat on it that's standing on its hind legs like it's like clawing at something in the air. And the crest says, "Touch not the cat." And I think that is very apropos for the fact that I live in a house with 10 cats. And the family crest says, "Touch not the cat." It'd be hard not to touch something with a cat. I mean, hell, these suckers like pile on me at night. I couldn't even move last night. Connor was literally sleeping on my shoulder blades. Jack was in the small of my back and Bubby was on my feet. Well, my grandmother was a Tatro and my grandfather was a Flavel, but on up the lines, I mean, like my dad's side is mainly German. If you look at the German side of his family, it goes from, because his father and his father's father were born in Germany, so we've got that established. But then going up 2 more generations, the wife of one of the husbands, one of the Oberstadt husbands, was born in Switzerland. So we have Swiss Jews that married into the family that moved from Switzerland to Germany. So I've got Swiss Jews and Germans on my dad's side, and then on my mom's side we have the French, the Irish, the English, and the British. Did Chris say bye? I didn't see it in chat. Last thing I saw was the alien gestation thing. I don't see a chat from him. Looks like he's still in. I think he's still in the stream. I'll have to look and see. Like, I really ought to do a video on my DNA results from Ancestry because I've done a lot of research on it over the years. And I really got into it probably about my mid-20s. And I started pulling everything that I could find. But there's like a huge chunk of my dad's mom. We don't even know if she's alive or not. The last time he saw her, he was like a year old. So we don't have any information on his mom. And my mom's family, we've got some information on, but because I can't afford Ancestry, I can't get any further information added to my tree because every time you click one of those darn leaves, it asks you to pay $20. And I just don't have it. And that's not showing up for me at all. The last thing I saw him say was something about, was that a cat purring? And I don't even see that in chat on my screen. Like, the last thing I see him say was, you may have an alien gestating in you. And that was the last thing I saw. Or at least that's the last thing I can see. And I've got all chat messages selected. I don't know why it didn't show up. That's weird. Yeah, I scrolled up to look. It goes, on my screen, it says the alien thing from Chris, and then you talked about free healthcare, and then our e-cig, freaky, related, Scottish, Glasswell, oops, McCormick, and then you said bye Chris, and that was it. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe my I know I had to update the YouTube app on my iPad, so maybe I need to update the app on my phone too. Or it's just telling me it's time to get off. That's weird. Yeah, it's not even showing on my screen. Like, let's see if I can screenshot it.